If you need anything, dear, just sing it out.
This week on iTunes, it's a celebration of provincial pride with a full rainbow roster of Island LGBTQ plus artists. Yous ready, PEI? Let's get her done! Hello, Prince Edward Island. I am your host, Adam Michael James, and you are listening to iTunes for the week of July 21st, 2024. This is episode 50 already? When the hell did that happen? It's hard to believe a year ago this was still just an idea that had been rejected by radio higher-ups, and I was just sitting here having repurposed it. Not a single episode in existence, just something that, at that point, I was posting one hell of a lot about. Okay, in that regard, it hasn't changed, but as I sit here today, I have permission to play music from some 220 island artists. I always ask permission. And in my perfunctory, somewhat dark basement, otherwise known as the iTunes Studios, I have gotten to meet and talk to some of Prince Edward Island's leading musicians.
This is Don Ross.
The Umbrella Collective.
Eric Broadbent.
Patricia Richard.
Lawrence Maxwell.
2 Hours Traffic.
Kelly Mooney.
Dylan Menzies.
Gordon Belcher.
Liam Corcoran.
This is Lenny Gallant, and you're listening to iTunes.
And many more, and I'm super grateful to not only them, but all the artists who have agreed to let me play their music on this show, because without them, iTunes would just be an hour of me talking. And while I do enjoy the sound of my own voice, well, it just wouldn't be a podcast about island music, would it? I also want to give an island-sized shout-out to Jackie Robichaux, who came on earlier this year as a volunteer since I don't have the budget to pay her, or myself yet. Jackie started as a fan and as supermom of come-up artist Julia Robichaux, and Jackie has become my coordination assistant, locking up permissions from dozens of island performers so far. It's been awesome not having to do absolutely everything myself, and Jackie's far more ballsy in approaching people than I tend to be. Thank you for those balls, Jackie. While we're being ballsy is a good enough time to segue into this special theme show for the conclusion of PEI's Pride Week, something that is especially important to me as I am a member of the Rainbow Mafia, as some term it. You may not know that the island didn't even have a Pride Parade to call its own until 1994. I remember going to see my first one as an island resident in 2008, and perhaps I was used to the bangers put on during my years in LA, but it was like maybe 2 cars and a few people with sandwich signs walking down Great George Street. I mean, dispiriting. How far Pride on the island has come just since then. Did you see the parade yesterday? Maybe you saw me desperately trying to hang on to my iTunes signs in the wind gusts. Do I get an award? It was hundreds upon hundreds of people, not just lining the streets, but marching in the streets. It was glorious to behold, and it's a testament to Islanders acknowledging diversity and differences. Good on ya, Islanders. This is where iTunes comes in, because we actually do have LGBTQ plus music artists on and from Prince Edward Island, and it is my civic musical duty to present them to you. Not that I haven't tried to do that throughout these 50 episodes, but, so far I've only had access to the tip of the Yas Queen iceberg in terms of music. More to come. For now, let's hit you with a baker's dozen of performers of the non-hetero, non-binary variety. You're gonna love it. Though I am honor-bound to tell you, some of it may be a little saucier than you're used to. So get a bigger spoon. If the name In Echo has echoed through your island news the past few years, it's for good reason. This trio has picked up awards and nominations from Music PEI and the ECMAs, and their instrumental fusion of trad and contemporary sounds is as diverse as the fusion of their members, with some LGBT cred if I understand correctly. Their new album is last fall's Hemispheres, but they first hit in 2019 with a self-titled record, and why not get this party started with a selection from it? The middle of July sounds like a perfect time for some fiddling around with a song called Summers with Nan, kicking off episode 50 of iTunes. Joss Rayome turning the island blue with their bluesy yet rocky single from 2021, Cross My Heart, on iTunes. That tune got into the hearts of lots of islanders as it netted Joss Music PEI Award nominations for New Artist of the Year, Musician of the Year, and Pop R&B Soul Recording of the Year, the same ceremony that saw Joss win Entertainer of the Year. Joss self-describes as having a rapscallion soul, and the rawness of their music inspired by Aretha Franklin, Janis Joplin, and Tracy Chapman would seem to validate that description. Can you believe Joss has made this much of an impact with only 3 released singles? Surely a full album is next on the list. One can hope. If a person could take the phrase queer joy and give it a sound, that person would be Brandon Howard Roy. His brand of indie pop is infused with it, and he's been sprinkling the island with singles and his debut album Tough Stuff these past several years like he's holding a shaker of unicorn dust. He's got a second album in the works, but in the meantime, we'll just have to placate ourselves with his existing catalog. Here's a sampling of it, a 4-letter word we all know. No, not that one. From 2023, this is Brandon Howard Roy on iTunes with Home.
You could say I'm something of a wanderer who lives somewhere between the land and sea, wandering and searching for the answer while the ground's on fire underneath my feet. Sorry, sometimes I get a little frustrated. I've gone so far I don't know where I am. Got this feeling that my body is leaving my soul. Somewhere along the way I lost control, stuck in between bliss and fear, as here becomes there and there becomes here. My memories get melded with a million old photos, and I need to know if it's not too far to go. I've got so far I don't know where I am. Got this feeling that my body is leaving my soul. Somewhere along the way I lost control, stuck in between bliss and fear, as here becomes there and there becomes here. My memories get melded with a million old photos, and I need to know if it's not too far to go. I've gone so far I don't know where I am. Got this feeling that my body is leaving my soul. Somewhere along the way I lost control, stuck in between bliss and fear, as here becomes there and there becomes here. My memories get melded with a million old photos, and I need to know if it's not too far to go.
Brandon Howard Roy taking you home thanks to the GPS of iTunes. Coming up, Russell Lauder takes a vow, Dee Dee Da 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 finds a religious experience in an undergarment, and Somewhere Soon plays some video games. I would love to regale you with LGBTQ only items from the past for this week's This Week in PEI History, but I don't know how or if they're documented, and there hasn't been enough time for me to find out. History in general affects everybody, though, and the LGBTQ plus community is certainly part of that everybody. So let's open our textbooks, shall we? Just be sure to shake the salmon-colored sand out of it first before reading. July 25th, 1883. The three-masted clipper ship, the Marco Polo, which had ferried passengers until 1867 and been refitted to carry coal and timber, ran aground on the shores of Cavendish after taking on water during a storm on its voyage from Montreal. An unceremonious end to a vessel that had set a world record for the fastest trip, 76 days, from Liverpool, England to Melbourne, Australia. Then 8-year-old Lucy Maud Montgomery witnessed the wreck and its aftermath, which became the subject of her very first publication 8 years later in the form of a newspaper article. July 26, 1823. The politically nonpartisan newspaper, the Prince Edward Island Register, printed its first issue on this date. The weekly periodical ran both local news and international news excerpted from other sources, as well as historical anecdotes. Like this one. The Register was established by James Douglas Hazard, and because of the lack of printed matter on the island in general at the time, it was used as reading text as well as a newspaper. The publication didn't last long, as it ran its final issue just 7 years later in 1830. Brooklyn Nine-Nine was on longer than that. July 28, 1870. Aubin Edmond Arsenault was born in Egmont Bay. He served as premier of the island from 1917 to 1919, the first Acadian to hold that position in any Canadian province. Arsenault's government repealed legislation put in place that had restricted automobile travel to specific days and routes. So as you tool around the island whenever and wherever you feel like it, thank Aubin Edmond.
What's up? It's Braden V, and you're listening to isletunes, the podcast that plays nothing but music from Prince Edward Island artists.
isletunes F-bomb alert!
Hello there. I'm an anti-choicer. I want to take away all of your basic human woman rights. I want to make you docile, pregnant, and obedient. Because my religious fucking rights trump your human rights any day of the week, especially Sunday. Jesus Christ made women inferior for a reason. So therefore, fuck you. I really think that I'm entitled to you because of my genitalia. My religious fucking rights prevent your human rights from being valid. Jesus Christ made baby killing a fucking sin for a reason. Keep going. I fucking hate rights. I'm gonna sit outside abortion centers and spread lies. I'm gonna go outside schools and spread lies because my religious rights are truly important.
The short but biting commentary on what is right now one of the biggest hot-button issues in the States, that's Dead Name with Abortion, from their 2020 album Dysphoriac, here on iTunes. What is punk if not in your face about controversial topics? And both vocalist Genevieve Lewis and drummer Milo Apars identify as non-binary. To dead name someone is to refer to a transgender or non-binary person by a name they used prior to transitioning, such as their birth name. I only learned that word from writing scripts for the show. Who says we're not educational around here? Another non-binary artist with ties to PEI is Cud Eastbound, a Montreal native who spent time living and producing music on the island before moving on to Dawson City, Yukon in 2014. Cud brings a vulnerability to their music, layering guitar over banjo and finding hope in sadness. Their discography started with a poetic self-titled album in 2009, and that's what I'm pulling this musical prose from for your listening enjoyment. This is the perhaps obvious, but still in need of delineation, a kite is not a cat, on iTunes.
It all goes down in history eventually. What I do has been done, read, heard, and seen. Even though you're you and I am me, yeah, it's all the same. Despite what they might say, keep trying to see, but you don't really believe in the things that come, the things that go, and it will hide like a little kitty cat caught in between two walls again. And they say you gotta make it to the top, but the bottom walks and the top just talks, yeah. I'd rather be on the lower, doing what I can, living life instead of letting life live me. And they say you gotta make it to the top, but the bottom walks and the top just talks, yeah. They say, but they don't ever walk the talk, 'cause their pockets pay to pave over what they don't want. It's a serious thing.
On Prince Edward Island, the dirt is as red as they say, and the hills are rolling, and so are the waves. And there are patchwork fields all over the place, and miles of sand on which to lay. And tourists leave this in the fall, come back to it in May. So what takes place on a tiny province in the snow? And what do the locals do when the tourists go? We dig those fields you admired, as by them you drove. Our tiny island with its red dirt roads, and all that iron helps our potatoes to Then the cold comes in and the harvest is over, and we seal our windows up, stack wood for our fires, and we take off our screen doors and our summer tires, and we settle in for the winter, get nice and tired, hibernate while snow blankets our island. When it storms hard enough, we all stay in our houses, and we get some days off work and some power outages. Then we have to slow down, candles and couches, until the snow stops falling, we all dig ourselves out of it. We make it through tough winters here, we are proud of this. You have to stay in place through all the seasons to appreciate everything that Spring is a long time coming in the Gulf of the St. Lawrence, and the trees are a long time budding, and when they do it is so glorious. And the birds, they keep us patient while we're waiting, singing us nice choruses. And soon enough we're all gathered up, talking about how warm it is. We love our island, that's for sure it is.
One of the island's most important crops. No, not potatoes, though that's the title of the song you just heard. I mean Tanya Davis, who graces iTunes with a track reaching all the way back to her 2006 album, Make a List. The build-up to that album came from Tanya performing spoken word poetry during her time in Halifax, and the result was multiple nominations for the Nova Scotia Music Awards for 2007. Tanya became the island's poet laureate last year, and in that role, the interdisciplinary artist acts as a spokesperson for literature and raises awareness of poetry and the spoken word. Originally from Summerside, Tanya was quoted in a 2009 issue of Halifax's Extra magazine as saying, quote, "My sexuality is as fluid as my creativity. I don't sit firmly in the category of lesbian, but I don't sit firmly in poet or songwriter either. I think the way I love is queer." Unquote. Sing it up. Russell Lauder is a trans performance artist and musician who hails from Charlottetown but now makes a home in Montreal. Russell first released their EP Think of Light in 2017 and has since followed up with 2021's Humor and last fall's Fair Weather. Russell provides not only lyrics and vocals to their work, but guitar, bass, percussion, piano, and synthesizer, and it all comes together in haunting but engaging electronica that is quintessentially Russell. This is from the aforementioned Humor album. Russell Lauder and Vow on the podcast that has for 50 episodes vowed to bring you island music of every genre, iTunes.
Now I'm through falling under the wheels you turn. Turn on me, talk my love now. Tell me of all the things you'll do. Never knew how to move past the bridge I burned. See these embers, they are my vow. Won't be found where you're going to. Keep your time, 'cause mine is gone and taken. around. And now you're echoing to me, much sweeter than your sound. Keep your voice from where my heart can hear it. Now I'm through falling under the wheels you turn. Turn on me, talk my love now. Tell me of all the things you'll do. Never knew how to move past the bridge I burned. See these embers, they are my vow. Won't be found where you're going to.
Russell Louder and their 2021 track Vow, brought to you by iTunes. It's giving Annie Lennox, don't you think? I think it is. Still to come, Hugging an Island with Noah Malcolm, Brielle Anthems offers More Than Her Heart, and Finding Irish Mython. It's not going to take much to find where your favorite PEI musicians are storming stages around here, because I'm going to tell you where. Making your concert planning simple with this little old segment appropriately called Gigs to Dig across Prince Edward Island. Tuesday, July 23rd, Patrick Ledwell and friends are with Rose Cousins at the Trailside Music Hall. Also on the 23rd, Doug Hoyer with Joe Vickers. They are at Baba's Lounge. Wednesday, July 24th, it's the Island Proud series featuring Amelia May at the Under the Spire Festival, of course, at St. Mary's Church in Indian River. Thursday, July 25th, Logan Richard is at the Trailside. Also on the 25th, Island Jazz, Sean Kemp Originals at Baba's Lounge. And starting on July 25th, continuing on through July 28th, it's Festival Route 11. It's PEI's only bilingual folk festival featuring In Echo and Six Hearts. They are playing at Union Corner Provincial Park in Richmond Parish. Friday, July 25th, the Chasen Trio is at the Irish Cultural Center in Charlottetown. And Saturday, July 27th, it's the Devil's Punch Bowl with Smoke Spell at Baba's Lounge. Looking into next week, July 30th, Patrick Ledwell and friends are with Ashley Condon at the Trailside. August 1st, Rick Sparks and Danny Druin play the Pilot House in Charlottetown. And on August 3rd, that duo moves to the Southwest Bar and Grill in New London. There's also the Island Summer Series to consider, and two of them are running out the clock this week. The first one, Rhythms and Stories of the Red Earth, starring the Mi'kmaq Heritage actors. They are playing for their final week this Monday through Friday at noon, with their last show July 26th at the Confederation Center Outdoor Amphitheater. Also finishing up this week, the 27 Club featuring Mike Ross, Brielle Anthems, Carly Howell, and Max Keenlyside. They are at Harmony House in Hunter River, and they are playing through July 27th. The Proud Islanders with Garth and Carl Proud and Amon Arsenault. They are playing Sunday nights until September 1st at Stanley Bridge Hall, of course, in Stanley Bridge. Also at Stanley Bridge Hall, Gordon Belcher with his Back Home Tonight series, playing Mondays through September 16th. Michael Pendergast and Tom McSwiggan have their Summer Kayleys Wednesdays through August 28th at Malpeque Hall, and Thursdays at Stanley Bridge Hall, also at Stanley Bridge Hall. Busy place. Richard Wood and Evening of Celtic Music playing Saturdays. La Veillée au Village featuring Louise Arsenault, Jonathan Arsenault, Shane Arsenault, Caroline Bernard, and Rémi Arsenault. They are all playing at the Village Musical Acadien in Abram Village Tuesdays and Wednesdays through August 28th. And last but not least, that's the Island for you, dear, featuring Michael and Shane Pendergast. They are playing at the Scott McCauley Performance Center in Summerside Saturdays through August 10th.
Hey, this is Julie Robeshow, and you're listening to isletunes.
I wanna be tied down. I don't wanna just lie down. Pick me up when I'm down. Baby, baby, tie me down. I wanna be tied down. I don't wanna just lie down. Pick me up when I'm down. Baby, baby, tie me down. get a rope, get a rope, get a rope.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Get a rope, 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 get a rope.
Marry me.
Don't mean 8 kids and a station wagon. Don't mean boring nights in front of a TV. Who says being tied down has to be done? We can keep it alive unconventionally. Look at all those
idiots
taking everything but their time, jumping from one to the other to the next. Don't let the prospect scare you. I promise I'll be gentle. I'm not like anyone you've ever met, and that's because I wanna be tied down. I don't wanna just lie down. Pick me up when I'm down. Baby, baby, tie me down. I don't wanna be tied down. I don't wanna just lie down. Pick me up when I'm down. Baby, baby, tie me down.
I wanna be tied down. I don't wanna just lie down. Pick me up when I'm down. Baby, tie me down.
With a little turn of the century dance pop on all tunes, that's, well, me. If I may refer to myself in the third person, you just heard Adam Michael James and his 2001 thumper, I Wanna Be Tied Down. Show me where it says I can't play one of my own songs up in here. And duh, I qualify as an LGBTQ artist. I swear on the gif of a bearded John Hamm I often have on repeat. I actually wrote the lyrics to this song in 1989 as a 20-year-old. It seems a lot of gay guys come out wanting to do that wild oat sewing. Not me. I wanted to get married right out the gate. Always have to be different. And yes, there's that double entendre of tied down in there, both the S&M naughtiness I knew nothing about at 20, and also the tied down status some people say being married is. I'll let you know if I ever find out. In the meantime, I'm slapping this 23-year-old song up on Bandcamp if y'all want to groove. Wait, this recording is older than I was when I wrote the lyrics? Somebody slap me. Going from marriage and its associated methods of affection to just scaling down things to hugging, this fellow has arms wide enough to not just hug you, but the entire province. He's here and he's queer and he's racked up a boatload of nominations and awards from Music PEI, the ECMAs, and the Canadian Indie Music Video Awards. His pop tunes have a definite folk feel, and much like the island's numerous trees, they've grown quite a bit since his first single came out in 2018. If you were here 4 years later for Hurricane Fiona, you know too many of those trees were knocked down, and let's not forget the damage to the dunes and the seashore. Noah Malcolm didn't forget, and on the 1-year anniversary of the storm, he gave us If I Could Hug an Island, the proceeds of which go to Island Nature Trust, which works towards conserving PEI land and protecting its wildlife. Pretty damn cool. This is Noah Malcolm on All Tunes.
If I could hug an island, I'd stretch out my arms around each shore. My back would protect from the ocean. Nothing can hurt you no more. If I could hug an island and all of her people in one, its might would be stronger than any north wind, and I'd hold till the morning sun. If I could hug an island, it would be this one.
would be this one. If I could hug an island, I'd stretch out my arms around each shore. My back would protect from the ocean. Nothing can hurt you no more. If I could hug an island and all of her people in one, its might would be stronger than any north wind, and I'd hold till the morning sun. If I could hug an island, it would be this one. It would be this one.
Divinity were in my hand like a cigarette. I'd take a breath, let it take me in, let it make me a fool for it. If my lungs could handle it, what a relief. Never mind the cancer, I would depend on it. If I had a prayer or someone to pray to, don't you think I would? Don't you think I want to? There's a desperate light in the depths of the dark, wishing I had a way to give you more than my heart, but it's all I've got for you right now. If I could twist your arm, stem the flow like a tourniquet, I'd take the red, paint it something fresh, make it something less frightening. If my arms could reach that far, they would wrap around us both, sweetheart, I would hold you. If I had a choice, or if I could choose for you, don't you think I would? Don't you know I adore you? There's a desperate light in the depths of the dark, wishing I had a way to give you more than my heart, but it's all I've got for you right now. If I had a prayer or someone to pray to, don't you think I would? Don't you think I want to? There's a desperate light and it's dancing in the dark, wishing I had a way to give you more than my heart, but it's all I've got for you right
Brielle Ansoms on iTunes with her 2020 standalone single, More Than My Heart. This bi-queer singer was born in Hamilton, Ontario, but raised in Montague, winning the SOCAN-sponsored Soundwave So You Think You've Got the Beat songwriting competition back in 2011. She's a graduate of the Holland College School of Performing Arts, and the East Mag said the atmosphere of her debut album, This New Hurricane, lingers long after it's finished. Brielle is also an advocate of mental health and openly speaks of her experiences with anxiety and chronic depression. Up top, Brielle! This is usually where you get an interview with an island artist in your ear, but I've decided to skip that this episode in order to cram more LGBTQ plus music in that ear. Speaking of cramming things, well, Miss Dee Da might be inclined to do that, given her status as the matron saint of southern Alberta, who is now here on the island to rule with a heart of gold and balls of brass. Those balls, carefully tucked naturally, are clearly the source of her irreverent, cheeky lyrics that define her Double D's album of 2015. In the past, I've limited her inclusions to her PG-13 NC-17 fare, but this is Pride, bitches. So now, forget the gloves. The underwear comes off. If you've got kitties roaming about, you might want to stash them, unless you want those birds and bees to encounter them a little early. Don't say you weren't warned, because iTunes now takes the unprecedented step of bringing you the following follow-up single from Dee Da. This is 2018's Pantychrist. And if you need additional notice, you're getting it in the form of this
iTunes content warning. Listener discretion is f***ing advised.
Of fabric in your trousers gonna save you. So why you covering up what the good Lord gave you? The devil's in your panties and he wants to play. Now if you want to go to heaven, then you better start to pray now. The junk in your trousers never tries to escape your panties, there they trap you there, so find a new savior. The devil lives in Dee Dee and she's gonna make you tremble while your panties fall off in Mama Dee Dee's temple.
Oh, have no fear, I just want your underwear. Don't be scared, I just need your panties.
I'm the ghost that takes your panties, I'm your poltergeist. I'm gonna make you naked, I'm your Pantychrist. Gonna rip the chains that bind your panties, sacrifice. I'm hell semen demon, I'm your Pantychrist. Preacher man, the teacher man, they try to restrain ya, but Mama's revolution good at take and retrain ya. The world beats us down with sexual condescension. Hell's cracking open with a horny ascension of demon devil Dee Dee and a princess minion. And we don't give a fuck about your parents' opinion. We're rising and we're thriving and we've come here to stay. All the cocks and pussies coming out to say, hey, hey, hey.
Have no fear, I just want your underwear. Oh, don't be scared, I just need your panties.
I'm the ghost that takes your panties, I'm your poltergeist. I'm gonna make you naked, I'm your Pantychrist. Gonna rip the chains that bind your panties, sacrifice. I'm hell semen demon, I'm your Pantychrist. Give me your panties with pre-cum stains. Are they made of Satan? Free the loins. Pantychrist, Pantychrist. Gonna steal your panties, I'm your Pantychrist. Pantychrist, Pantychrist. Gonna steal your panties, I'm your Pantychrist. I'm the ghost that takes your panties, I'm your poltergeist. I'm gonna get you naked, I'm your Pantychrist. Gonna rip the chains that bind your panties, sacrifice. I'm hell semen demon, I'm your Pantychrist. Your mama
Somewhere soon with their latest groove just released in April, Video Games, here on iTunes. It's kind of what I imagined Grand Theft Auto would be if it was only a soundtrack. No, I've never played it. I'm an 80s kid who did halfway decently at Ms. Pac-Man and Galaxian. Today's games are too complicated for me. Get off my lawn! As for Somewhere Soon, their dreamy psychedelic soundscapes find inclusion on this Pride app by way of non-binary pianist Hannah Melanson. So far, the trio's only other release is a 2018 collection of demos, but now that they've leveled up with video games, I hope that means a full album will be the next achievement they unlock. Now seriously, you didn't think I'd run through an entire show packed with LGBTQ plus artists from PEI and not play Irish Mythen, did you? Did you? I mean, for real. She's only been blowing people away with the powerful passion of her lyrics and vocals since 2006, and she chose to make a home in Prince Edward Island over her native Ireland. Now that we can lay claim to her, we have the right to deem her music a sweet necessity. And gee, it just so happens that's the name of her 2007 album, and this cut from it is kind of saving the queerest for last, at least in terms of lyrics. iTunes, Irish Mythen, She Finds Me. You found it.
If she would wait one more day for me, I'd take her away on a dream, show her things she's only imagined, the middle of the morning. Sometimes she finds me in the night. If I had the wealth, if I had the riches, I'd take her away and she would be my wife. I wonder now just what she's thinking. And could she push me away? But how can you hold on to an angel if that angel don't wanna stay? Sometimes she finds me in the middle of the morning. Sometimes she finds me in the night. If I had the wealth, if I had the riches, I'd take her away, she would be my wife. Openly I wonder what the night will bring. Confusion only happens when you let down in. Sometimes she finds me in the middle of the morning. Sometimes she finds me in the night. If I had the wealth, if I had the riches, I'd take her away and she would be my wife. Sometimes she finds me in the middle of the morning. Sometimes she finds me in the night. If I had the wealth, if I had the riches, I'd take her away and she would be my wife. She would be my wife.
The one and only Irish Mython, wrapping up this prideful Pride episode of Isletunes. You know, I want to take a second to thank Prince Edward Island as a whole for making this place so welcoming and accepting for those of us who don't walk the straight, even if we walk the narrow. Yeah, I'm from the States originally, and I don't have to tell you, or maybe I do, that there are far too many countries on this planet of ours, 64, that make it downright illegal to be LGBTQ+, and some south of our border would certainly like the U.S. to be added to that list. There's still our share of discrimination and harassment here, but overall it's probably the most inclusive place I've ever lived, and yesterday's Pride Parade proved it. Thanks, PEI. I also want to take a moment to let you know that as of this episode, Isletunes is going on hiatus. Don't worry, it won't be for long. It's just that after getting episodes up 50 Sundays in a row, I need a bit of a break. Not that I'll be sitting on my slightly padded laurels during that break. I am the technical director of the Island Fringe Festival, and I will be busy getting lights and sound and other electronic goodies running for the 10 shows that are part of the festival over the next couple of weeks. I would highly recommend attending. There will be local writers and performers in attendance, but also those from Quebec, Halifax, and even as far away as New York City and Orlando, Florida. These shows are gonna kick ass, and the roster won't be without its LGBTQ plus content. $10 a show with the money going to the artists, or $90 for an all-access pass. islandfringe.com. Come see a show or all of them, and you might see me running around making sure stuff is plugged in, and then running back out. Putting my isletunes hat back on, I believe in doing what I can to amplify PEI musicians, not only by playing their songs, but by letting you guys know where you can buy the songs you hear on this podcast. I post those links on the show's Facebook and Instagram pages, as well as on isletunes.ca. Avail yourself of them and help our music makers make money for their efforts. Oh yeah, speaking of money, it does require some to do up a podcast, you know. So if you're able, I would truly be thankful if you could donate a little or a lot to isletunes through PayPal. The link is in the description of this episode and yes, on isletunes.ca. I can personally guarantee that every loony and toonie given goes toward the production of this show. The same goes if you choose to become a patron on Patreon, where you'll find exclusive expanded video interviews and clips of live performances waiting for you. That's on patreon.com/isletunes. I'm footing the expenses for this puppy myself, so every little bit helps. Hey, if you're a company who wants to sponsor the show, get in touch. amj@isletunes.ca or 902-807-4250. These contact methods are multi-talented. They also work if you want to leave comments, suggestions, or requests, or if you want to contribute a recording of yourself saying an Islanderism to start off an episode, the way Jackie Robichaux did for this one. Musical contribution to the isletunes theme by Kaylin McCauley and John Hashem. Show concept by Rocky O'Neill. Coordination assistance by Jackie Robichaux. I'm Adam Michael James, and we're out of here. As I said, I'm taking a brief sabbatical from isletuning, but only for 3 weeks. I will be back August 11th with the next round of new episodes, and at the rate PEI artists are releasing songs, we're going to have a ton of isletunes world premieres to come back with. In the meantime, there's no need for withdrawals. You've got 50, count them, 50 episodes to listen to on the podcast provider of your choice. Every single one is also up on YouTube. Start at episode 1 or skip around, I don't care. But I will care if you get your friends, family, and neighbors hooked on the show while I'm gone, because that would be really cool. I do this to bring island music to you guys. The music scene here is so huge and getting huger, and there's so many artists to introduce you to, both contemporary and vintage, and every time in between. I'm going to let my microphone cool off now, so until we meet again on August 11th, I give you the same platitude I've given to you already 50 times in a row. Be good. And if you can't be good at it. See you in 3 weeks. And thanks for listening, PEI.